Greetings everyone, I'm Jeff from the Overwatch team. We're here with the developer update about Overwatch Year of the Rooster. In particular, we're really excited to talk about the new brawl that we added, which we named Capture the Rooster. So as you guys know, we have a tendency to name things just a little bit differently what you're used to. Obviously, Capture the Rooster is our version of Capture the Flag. And Capture the Flag is a really interesting topic for us to discuss because it's something we've mentioned in the past as having had a lot of trouble with when it comes to tuning and balancing around Overwatch heroes. So to give you guys a little bit of history with Capture the Flag, we started working on it before the game was even announced. We would do various prototypes of different game modes and see if we can make it work. What we generally have found with Overwatch over the years is that the game works best when we have a single objective game mode type. And if you think about Control, Assault, our hybrids, our payloads, they all have one objective. You're either attacking or defending, or you need to take control of the point, or you already have that point and you need to defend it. And Capture the Flag is very unique in the sense for Overwatch that there are two objectives going on at once. There's your flag, the enemy flag, and you're having to decide how many resources you dedicate to getting their flag or to defending your flag. And both flags are in play at the same time. So we really wrestled with Capture the Flag over the years for a number of reasons. The primary one is that Overwatch heroes are designed intentionally with really powerful feeling mobility abilities. So obvious examples are Genji's dash, Tracer's blink, you've got Winston's leap, D.Va can fly through the air with her boost. So there's a lot of great mobility going on. It's challenging with Capture the Flag, which is a very mobile game mode type. You're trying to get this thing in an enemy base and bring it back to your own with these types of abilities in play. So over the years, as we were iterating and testing various versions of Capture the Flag, we actually gave up on the mode for a while because we felt like what we didn't want to do was add a bunch of rules that no longer made Overwatch heroes feel like Overwatch heroes. I'll give you some examples of this. In one of our earliest versions that we had, there was no pickup time on the flag, and we had a character like Tracer. Well, what our tracers would do when we were playtesting these early prototypes is they would triple blink to the flag. Obviously, they would pick it up since there was no capture time, and then just hit recall and be 30 meters back to where they were, literally untouchable to get the flag. And defenders of the flag didn't even know what had happened. Oh my God, our flag's gone. Where did it go? Well, Tracer is already capping it. So as we got into preparing for Capture the Rooster and the Overwatch Lunar New Year event, we started thinking to ourselves, the players keep asking us for Capture the Flag, and there's a lot of great suggestions in the community how to make it work. We've tried it before, but should we try it again? And this time we took a different philosophy to it. So early on when we started iteration for Capture the Rooster, we said, well, we can do all these things to our heroes to try to make it feel a lot more balanced. So we had a version up and running where we picked, the abilities that we picked were the mobility and immunity abilities. So a great example there is Reaper's Wraith form, even Zenyatta's Ultimate Transcendence, where he's moving very fast and he also can't be damaged at all. We picked a bunch of abilities like that, Tracer's Blink, Recall, Sombra's Teleport Beacon, and we made it so when you use those abilities and you were the flag carrier, you just dropped the flag on the spot. And for a while we played the mode this way, thinking it would feel more fair and somehow more balanced. And what it ended up feeling like to us, and we did a lot of playtesting on it, was they just didn't feel like Overwatch characters anymore. It felt sort of like a drag almost to be the flag carrier. One of the fantasies there was getting in, grabbing that flag, and really doing the run for your base. So ironically, we set up all the abilities to drop the flag, and then we ended up reverting it all and just saying, let's really go to the spirit of what Capture the Flag is to us. And we believe is to our players when we mention it to them. When people think of capture the flag, they think of those great movement abilities. In the really old school games, you used to be able to grappling hook all the way across the map with the flag, and that was one of the fun things we remember about various CTF modes in FPSs. So instead of trying to overly balance and overly tune Overwatch around this concept of sort of fairness, we said, why don't we embrace what our heroes do and allow them to do that? And really the only couple of rules in play in our version of Capture the Flag that might be different from some of the modes that you're used to are, one, there's a little bit of a pickup time when you get to the flag. You'll see there's a progress bar and it'll say capturing when you're there. And it's not terribly long, but any damage interrupts that. So that prevents those really cheesy captures like Tracer triple blinking in and just pressing recall. Now for Tracer to do that, the flag has to be totally unguarded, and she needs at least enough time to pick up the flag before she can do that. The other rule that we're trying in Capture the Rooster is that we don't require your flag to be at the base when you capture the enemy's flag. So for those of you who are familiar with World of Warcraft, we have a battleground in there called Warsong Gulch. And this is something we've worked for years on, and it's one of the favorite battlegrounds in World of Warcraft. And in World of Warcraft, we require your team to have the flag when you capture the enemy team's flag. But and it's cool in World of Warcraft because it creates some gameplay that wasn't as fun in Overwatch. It was a little bit problematic in Overwatch for us when we tried it this way, where you're the flag carrier, you're kind of standing around trying to communicate to your team like, hey, I'm not going to be able to hold out that much longer. You guys need to go find the flag. I can't do it on my own. Because the time to kill and the lethality is higher in Overwatch, it's more difficult to sort of have those holdout moments when you still have the flag. Now, one thing people might be worried about is, and I know we're going to hear this feedback, there are moments where you're defending the flag, your team's flag, an enemy's going to come in, you're going to have a cool battle, but they're going to win and grab the flag. And there's this feeling of they might use some really powerful ability. Winston's Leap is a great example. Winston's going to leap away with the flag, and you're going to say, well, we didn't have a chance to get that flag. And we sort of had that feeling as well. And that's why when we were in our iteration cycle, we tried those versions where it would drop the flag when Winston used that leap ability. What we found during that iteration time was usually there's a team fight before a flag cap happens in the first place, like an initial capture where they're grabbing the flag from your base. And even with the abilities dropping the flag, if the other team took the flag and got away, they were probably going to cap it anyway, whether or not we let you use your cool movement abilities or not. So ultimately, we really went with more of a free form capture the flag, where we're embracing more of what Overwatch is about, which is your awesome hero with your awesome abilities and letting you use them all the time. And we kind of want to create those crazy moments where, wow, I didn't realize, like you might think Tracer with her blink is the best flag carrier. Wait till you see Winston with Primal Rage, what he can do. It's pretty amazing. Why we think this is okay is because how we've positioned Capture the Rooster within Overwatch. It is an arcade mode that's part of Overwatch Year of the Rooster. It's going to be a 3-week event, and the mode is going to live in the arcade. We're not adding it to quick play, the quick play rotation. We're not adding it to the competitive rotation. We don't have any plans to. We just want players to see it as a fun mode that exists in the arcade for the sake of fun and fun alone. And we know, like a mode like Mystery Heroes that also exists in the arcade, it's not going to be perfectly tuned and balanced for the way Overwatch works in competitive or quick play. And we're sort of okay with it because we want it to be a blow-off steam mode that you go and do in addition to those other modes. So That's not saying it won't ever be a competitive mode. Maybe, someday if we fine tune and iterate on it, it'll be great and we'll think about it that way, but we're not even remotely thinking about that right now. We just want it to be fun. We want it to be for those players who have really been vocal about asking for capture the flag. We want it to be our way of saying we're listening to you and that your feedback is important. And even game modes that we sort of had dismissed in the past, when we hear your repeated feedback like that, we want you to know that we care about it and we take it really seriously. So we've heard so many requests for capture the flag. We wanted to bring it to you guys. Maybe in the future, if Capture the Rooster is really successful during Overwatch Year of the Rooster, we'll even consider bringing it back to the arcade in a more fully fleshed out version with new maps and that sort of thing. But initially, we want to see what your reaction is and see how much you guys like it. We'll be really curious to hear your feedback as you're playing it. We want to hear what's fun. We want to hear what you don't like about it, and we'll look to that feedback to iterate on it. So in the meantime, enjoy the Overwatch Year of the Rooster event. Enjoy Capture the Rooster as a game mode. Have lots of fun and be nice to each other. We'll see you guys.